Hello, and today for my final project questions, I chose what is social epidemiology. So, according to the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health, social epidemiology is a study of how society and different forms of social organization influence the health and well being of an individual and population. It studies the frequency, distribution, and social determinants of the state of health in a population. So, what is health disparities, you ask? So, health disparity is defined as a particular type of health difference that is linked with social, economic, and environmental disadvantage. So, someone who is poor versus someone who is rich, they have different um, health disparities. And how can we overcome this? We can learn more about the causes of disparities by evidence based strategies that address these specific issues. We can also educate policymakers, the public, and other agencies and organizations about health disparities, and also learn about the evidence based strategies as well. So, health disparities can exist in all age group. They there's many factors that include poverty, someone who's experiencing homelessness, environmental threats is a health disparity. Someone who lives near a busted pipeline who has to inhale those fumes. That's a health disparities. Someone who has inadequate access to health care. An example, there is someone who is turned down for treatment because of their color of their skin or their sex or their sexual orientation. Health disparities can include individual and behavior factors. And then lastly, I have educational inequalities, and that can include teenage pregnancy, poor dietary choices, physical, emotional abuse, substance abuse, and gang involvement. What are social determinants of health and why is it important? So, social determinants of health are the conditions in the environment where people are born, live, learn, work, play, worship, and age that affect a wide range of health, functioning, and quality of life outcomes and risks. And some of the examples I have here are safe housing, transportation, neighborhoods, people who endure racism, discrimination, and violence can cause health outcomes and risks, education, job opportunities, people who have access to nutritious food versus someone who doesn't have, that's a social determinant, and then someone who is near polluted air and water. Um, so it is very important that we take actions with public health organization and local state government to improve education and transportation and housing, to improve people's social and physical environments, to achieve their full potential for health and well-being. And then I have here, what is racism, discrimination, and hate, and how do they affect health? So I have here the definition is racism. It consists of structure, policy, practice, and norms that are assigned value and determines opportunity based on the way people look by the color of their skin. And with that, it results in unfair advantage for some and disadvantage for others throughout society. And then discrimination is just unjust, prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or a thing, especially when it's around race, age, or sex. And this affects people's health if they aren't able to get the care that they need because they are turned down because of their color of the skin or their sex, their age. And then I have here hate is basically it's bias motivated, and it occurs when an individual is targeted because of a social group or racial demographics. And then lastly, here I just have from Minority Health determines the health of a nation that we have approximately 36% of the population that belong to racial ethnic group, and the health indicators such as life expectancy, infant mortality have improved for most Americans, but some minorities experience a disproportionate burden of preventable disease, death, and disability due to um, racism and discrimination. So it's important that we do not discriminate against people's sex, age, because that affects their health if they're not able to get the care that they need. So yeah, that's that for that question.